Hi folks, how you doing? My name is Steven from the TK Powersports and RVs YouTube channel, and in this video I am here to show you how to change the belt on this, my 2015 Ski-Doo Grand Touring, with one of these. That is a Gates G-Force. So we'll go over all the steps on how to change the belt, how to break it in, and I'll tell you why you should use one of these belts. The first question in this process is, when is it time to change your belt? Now, obviously, if your belt breaks, well, you're not going to be going anywhere, so then it's time. But you should also do regular belt inspections, look for cracking, fraying of the cords, any visible wear and tear. Sometimes the little lugs can tear right off. When that stuff starts to happen, you know it's probably time to go get a new belt. And then the next question is why you should choose a Gates. Well, Gates has a proprietary laser scanning process to make sure their belt is exactly the same as your OEM belt so as not to change the performance on your machine. Now, second, Gates says that they have a greater heat resistance, so you can use this thing over and over and it's always gonna stay the same shape. Finally, Gates uses a patented ethylene elastomer. I'm gonna call it EE from now on. So they use a patented EE to make sure they maximize axial stiffness. Well, what the heck does that all mean? Basically, under high torque loads, this belt is not gonna bend or squish. It's gonna stay nice and stiff and deliver you maximum power. So now, let's jump into this sled and I'll show you how to change out this belt. First step on my Ski-Doo is to remove this panel here. It's nice to get it right out of the way so you have space to work. Next up, you're gonna wanna grab your OEM supplied toolkit. This is in different positions on different sleds, but pretty much every manufacturer is gonna provide you with one of these guys. You get this little threaded rod. It's got a Torx on one end and then threads on the other. This is gonna help us change out our clutch. Then we're gonna remove this safety shroud here. You pull the R pin, just like so. And once again, now you can see clearly, there's our drive belt. My belt's actually in decent condition on this sled, but still, we're going to switch it out just for the purposes of this video to show it off. Now I'll show you how the little tool works. So you'll see on your secondary clutch right there, there's a little threaded hole. So we're going to take our OEM tool, matches up perfectly. There's really only one hole it could possibly go into. It's pretty hard to mess this up. And we're going to go ahead and start cranking that open. Now that's going to open up the sheaves of this clutch, and that's going to allow us to remove the belt. Now it's open, we're ready to take this belt off. It's fairly simple, honestly, once that clutch is opened up. Just feed it around like so, and off it comes. My belt's actually in okay condition, but it's always nice to get new things. So now you grab your Gates belt, and I should mention, of course, Gates says that because of that patented EE, that this belt has long-lasting durability and that it's not gonna crack or fade. But just in case there's a manufacturer defect, you do get a 1-year warranty on this belt if you have any troubles. Now, the other thing they tell you is you never wanna kink or really bend the belt, so just be a little bit careful when you're putting it on.
Also, before you install your new G-Force RedLine, make sure you clean the clutch sheaves. So get that old belt off of there and then look inside the secondary and the primary for any debris. Clean them up so you maximize your belt's performance. One other tip, this belt is directional, so make sure you can read the writing when you're facing the clutch.
So now we just repeat the process. Onto the primary, up over the corner here. Sometimes you just have to roll the clutch a little bit, and boom, there she goes. So now the belt's on, we can go ahead and take our tool and loosen it back off. Now what's gonna happen is the sheaves of this clutch are now pinching on that belt. So you wanna remove your tool all the way, and when that's done, you wanna reset the belt up to the top of the clutch. Otherwise, it's not gonna perform right when you hit the throttle. So you just kind of work it around like this, allow that clutch to close down on it, and you just want to make sure the belt is right up to the top as much as possible. Just like that. And that's it. Now we got our new belt, and this sled is good to go. However, don't forget, you do have to break in a brand new drive belt. So let's talk about the break-in period. Now the belt is on, and I've got to tell you guys, I'm excited to go for a ride. Gates actually says that thanks to that G-force, my sled is going to accelerate quicker and it's going to have a higher top speed. But before you get out there and pin the throttle on your machine, you have to break in that belt. Now every belt is a little bit different, but Gates requires you to do 2 heat cycles. Basically what that means is you're going to take your machine and you're going to get that belt up to operating temperature. So go for a ride, but ride it gently, slowly, accelerate slowly, and never go over 3/4 throttle. Then once that's up to operating temp, go back home, shut the machine off, and let it sit for at least 30 minutes until that belt is totally cooled off. And then you're gonna wanna repeat that process. So 2 full heat cycles on that belt, that's gonna break it in. Once you've done that, then you can get out there, pin the throttle, and go for a rip. Well, there you have it, folks. Now you know how to install a new belt onto your Skidoo. And make sure before you head out this season, check out your belt on your existing machine. And if you need a new one, make sure you think Gates for tons of fun miles out there on the trail.